Chairman, Commission. Thank you for having us here. And I'm representing Puna Pono Alliance, and I've lived in Pohiki since before any of the geothermal plants, including the experimental plant, began to operate. So I've seen all of it. I've seen all of the accidents. I've seen all of the developments and changes and things that have happened over the last 35 years as it's been going on. So first I want to say we thank you for supporting the Native Hawaiian Cultural Impact Study, and we hope that gets done right away. For the health study, we've got a lot of concerns about what's coming up here, where additional funds are being requested, because there were proposals that met the funding requirements, and the proposal we believe that didn't meet the funding requirement would be from UH-HELO, which would not be a study that we would have confidence in anyway. So it seems that you had study applicants that would have been supported by the community and felt that were reliable, and instead this goes back to the administration, and the administration has been trying to obstruct this health study since Billy Kanoi got into office. And I can say that because we got funding for a study passed at the county council, and he vetoed it, and he set up the mayor's health study group, which I was on for 2 years, and we did that work. And then I found a video recently of Jeff Melrose, who was Mr. Kanoi's staff, saying that they brought us in specifically to kill the Kilburn study and to keep us close and to keep an eye on us. And they're now trying to steer that study, in my opinion, to the University of Hawaii at Manoa, who they've also, University of Manoa was responsible for HGPA, which was the original experimental plant that operated without any pollution controls, open vented into the community for 8 years. And I never was involved in activism, and I never thought I would be. But after that, I had lived there before that plant began to operate, and that plant made me so sick, and I saw so many people in that community that suffered because of that power plant. And you say, well, how can that happen? You know, the State Department of Health and the Civil Defense, they wouldn't let that happen. I think it was everybody really wanted to get off oil, and this, I thought geothermal was a great idea. I thought, get off oil, and then experiencing it, I can tell you, it's a disaster, it's a nightmare. But the problem with the state and the county is they get millions of dollars from geothermal that they do not get from solar, or fish, or forestry, or anything else. It's called mineral royalties. So the state has a financial interest, the county has a financial interest in seeing this power plant operate, and I believe that we've become a sacrificial community for corporate interests and for state funding. And of course, we need money. The government wants to have funding sources, and it sounds like a great thing, but you cannot sacrifice whole communities for that. And people, I've heard that said that, oh, it's all the same people that keep coming and complaining, and that's not true. I've been here for 35 years. I've been before every council, every planning commission, Department of Health for 35 years, and I can tell you hundreds and hundreds of different people have come and said these same things. There's no data, there's no monitoring. Why not? If this is a safe power plant and if it's so great, why didn't they put in source monitoring that would actually tell how much is being emitted and have it modeled? That's what all other industries do. As far as I know, PGV is the only industry in the state of Hawaii that does not have source monitoring. They put 3 air samplers out in the community, and when they have an accident, if that plume happens to hit one of those, you get some kind of reading. But that's hot gas, and it goes up and it comes down in the community over those. That's it. There is no data to determine any of this stuff. And after 35 years, you have to say, how is that possible? How is that possible? So, I think that you need to really dig deep here and say, this has gone on for long enough. Everybody's bent over backwards to help this power plant. And it's time now that we do something to determine, if the power plant is safe, why are they afraid to have real monitoring and real data that would prove that? If it was me, and I really believed I wasn't hurting anybody, I would want that data, and I would have put that stuff in a long time ago. So I think there's a real problem there, and I think there's a real problem with the mayor or whoever, the administration, coming here and saying we want more money, installing this thing again, and I believe trying to steer it to a predetermined conclusion that'll give them the same results that they want. And I don't want to see that happen. And the money would then be gone and wasted, and we would still have a community that says we have no confidence in this study, and we'd be in the same place we are now with all that money gone. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.